So, fun fact about me is that when I was a kid, I didn't have a haircut until I was... What year did Ice Age come out? Hold. What year did Ice Age come out? 2002. So I was 10 years old when I had my first haircut. So you might imagine just how long my hair was. And I said, never again. Except, I did keep it long. Never as long as that, but pretty long. And then I donated my hair when I graduated high school, because it was quite long. I got it cut up to like just above my chin, like a bob, and it wasn't very flattering. The person who cut my hair didn't really have the same vision for what I wanted. And so I was like, I must be, you know, someone who doesn't look good with short hair. And so then I kept my hair long for a really long time. And then in 2016, it was 2016, I was working at Joanne Fabrics. I cut off all my hair in a fuck it kind of moment. I had like just started Prozac 3 months prior, I believe. And I cut off all my hair, super short, like boy level short, you know what I mean? And I was like, this, first of all, I look great, and second of all, this fucks. It takes like 5 minutes to shower now. And I've been keeping it pretty short. I've been keeping it like to my chin, or at least above my shoulders for years since. Except now. Now I'm growing out my hair for my Japan trip in November so that I can do kimono shots with like hair ornaments and stuff. And let me tell you, as someone who has not had hair this long, it's not even that long, but it's over my shoulders. I have not had hair over my shoulders in over 10 years. Well, almost 10 years. 9 years. In 9 years, I don't know what to do with it. It's driving me insane. It's actually like pissing me off. So wish me fucking luck, because I still have 7 more months of this shit before I can cut it all off. As soon as I get pictures done in it, boom. I might book an appointment then and there in Japan. The language isn't a boundary. Anyway, hello, welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations Collection HD. It's me, hi. Did we expect anything less? Starting off hot. And also hot. It is like warm today. I don't like how strong the sun was earlier. I got like a little sunburn outside. Don't like that. But we're in this game. It is toward the end of this case. We may be able to finish it today. I hope. It depends on how many lines the judge has. But I'd like to finish it. Also, my allergies are bad. Anyway. But last time we discovered that it was Kay. The little girl was Kay. We all knew. But Gumshoe didn't do it. The judge misunderstood what he saw and heard. And we have one place left to look into, and that is where Detective Bad and almost called her Cece. Hi, Ivy! And fucking Callisto, you, were hanging out when the murder happened, so that's what we're doing first. Oh man. I'm so sorry if I have to like blow my nose. Blow my nose. No, wait. Whoa! Blow my nose at some point. God help. Help. Hi, Zara. Oh my god. About my hair? Is that what you're talking about, Zara? Yeah, same with the allergies. I swear I've got a cold now because all this dust and wind. I'm actually miserable. Help. Dude, yeah, the flowers outside are beautiful. But there was a white tree that I walked under today because I had to go to the drugstore to grab some things. I walked under that tree and I was like, oh. The mucus all started like draining. It was awful. What is this incredibly overpowering sweet scent? It smells like flowers, just like outside.
Uncle Bad, is it it?
Isn't that Detective Bad and Kay over there? It looks like she managed to escape the bailiff. Hell yeah. No, that's not quite it.
Ah, too bad, but it's so pretty.
I think you're still a bit too young to be wearing that. But since you found it, I guess I can let you keep it.
Thanks! I'll treasure it always.
Those two seem to get along rather well. Yeah, because her dad was fucking him. That's why. English not working well this late. Yeah, I mean, my English... I've been trying to spend more time in taking Japanese, and it makes my English diminish. I've noticed, because my brain is trying to default into a different language, so that's okay. Oh, here. I've got something else for you.
Yay! Thank you, Uncle Bad. Earlier, I ate one of these with gummy.
Gummy? Oh, you mean gumshoe.
Gummy is... He was trying to be nice to me because I was gonna get in trouble. And then he got in trouble because he lied to protect me. Gummy. I know he didn't kill Daddy.
Oh yeah, we still kind of suspect him, right? Don't cry. Faraday would be sad if he saw you crying. Yeah, I'm like that one drawing of Miles that looks like official artwork with him and the AAI2 cast in spring. He has a springtime out. Yeah. He's just like me for real. I already knew, but like... Dude, what was it Megan said the other day where she was like... We were talking about cosplay. And we're gonna do Gumshoe in Edgeworth. And then there's something about like... Someone asked her like to do Edgeworth or whatever. And she's like, he's the one character I would never consider like cosplaying. And I was like, I mean, you could borrow my stuff. And she was like, no, I don't know him like that. And I was like, you're saying I do? And she goes, yes. It was so funny. Like the timing of the responses, it was really funny.
I'm not crying.
Kay.
Oh, it's the mister from before and the lady too.
Don't you think it would be a good idea to go home for the time being? You're not involved in the investigation, so it's for the best if you do. Her dad is dead. What home does she have?
Actually, I'm Uncle Bad's assistant. So I'm related to the investigation.
Edgeworth and Gumshoe. I mean, we have a good height difference for it. And we found a ratty old coat at a thrift store a couple weeks ago when we were looking for the Akechi vest. I know. We didn't find the Akechi vest, but we did find the manga. It's that so, Detective Bad? Yeah, I guess. What? You were just scolding us like kids not to mess up the crime scene. And now you let this child run free? Why? Because that's basically his kid. People are free to investigate things outside of actual crime scene. You also had a few things she wanted to look into. Got a problem with that? I don't have a problem with that, but I am curious as to what Ms. Yu is looking into.
Uncle Bad, I'm gonna go look somewhere else now, okay?
Alright, I'm counting on you.
Oh, that's right. Hey, mister.
Yes, what is it?
I know Gummy really isn't the bad guy. I mean it. So please, find the real bad guy, okay?
I won't forgive whoever did this. But in the absence of the perfect piece of testimony and evidence,
There is no one else who could be the true culprit other than Detective Gumshoe.
You're going to see a Great Gatsby ballet tomorrow with your partner. I swear it better rain so I can feel better. Oh, because I refuse to miss it. Dude, that sounds awesome. I didn't know there was a ballet for Great Gatsby. I guess that tracks. I've only ever seen the Nutcracker.
She wandered off while I was pondering.
Yes, she does that. Alright, let's look at things. Couch.
That expensive painting is ill-suited to be hanging on the wall of this room.
Isn't this the one that shows up in Apollo Justice? No, it's different. That judge didn't have hair.
I wonder if a guard detail should be placed on it.
Why do you say that?
Well, a desperate, low-paid detective might make off with it someday. You never know.
She may be thinking about hiring a guard, but it's obvious she isn't factoring the guard's salary whatsoever.
That's funny. No, but nothing about this comfy couch? Okay.
One of the windows in this lobby is open as well. The air conditioner is working just fine in this room, so why did they open it, I wonder?
Oh, do I have... Oh, I don't have any logic right now. Hey girlie, you have anything?
What is this smell that has permeated the air?
It's sweet and flowery, although at this strength I'm likely to suffocate from it.
I can't conduct an investigation under these circumstances. We need to open the window and air this room out. I demand that you open a window right now. Hurry!
Francisca, one of the windows is already open.
I can see that.
I wonder, is it just a coincidence that one of the windows in this room is already open too? This decorative plant's leaves are shinier than the ones on the plant in lobby number 2. Why do you notice that?
That's probably because it's next to the windows where it's easier to photosynthesize.
You may be right. Plus the curtains are always drawn in lobby number 2.
The caretakers of this courthouse don't think enough about the plants, do they?
It's because they're the courthouse's caretakers, not a bunch of botanists.
Also, are we sure that this is a real fucking plant?
It was an incredibly strong-scented herbal tea.
That almost slipped into Nellie's voice. I've been doing her voice too often.
I fear that more than being relaxing, the scent may make one a bit heady instead. You put in a special request for that.
No wonder she's so violent if she's been drinking this stuff the whole time.
Neither woman should be allowed to comment on this particular topic. Ever.
We're so back. Him hating women, we're so back.
It may not look like much, but I find that ordinary tables like this one are very useful.
I think it's time they bought a new one. I wonder if they will replace this table if I hit it enough with my whip.
A much too heavy-handed method if I ever saw one.
The herbal tea that I drink, there's one that I have that's a stress relief. It's quite strong. It's probably the sweetest I can handle for like an herbal tea.
I can see down into the courthouse courtyard from here.
What is that mess supposed to be? It's like an optical illusion.
I believe it's supposed to be postmodern in design.
More like thoughtlessness in design.
I can't disagree there.
They're so silly.
This television is the same model as the one in defendant lobby number 2.
Looks like the two rooms are basically the same in terms of layout and supplies.
Yes. The two rooms are basically the same, huh?
Interesting. So I need to look at my evidence again. I kind of forget what we've got. Also, has your profile changed yet? Okay. At some point it says something really fruity. Anyway. Oh yeah, I wanted to see. Never seen. Yeah, we read this, but I kind of forget what it said. Yeah, okay. Okay. Everything else is pretty much the same.
Detective Bad, what exactly was Kay searching for? Nothing that concerns you, boy.
Oh, and I suppose it has something to do with Kay.
It does, because she's Faraday's daughter.
Oh, I know. I got it.
Anyway, hurry up and get to the point. I don't have time to waste. It sounds like he'd rather be left alone.
I mean,
I have something I'd like to confirm with you once again. I don't have anything to say to you.
No.
Be that as it may, we still have questions that we need answers to. Now then, first of all, what is the overpowering smell that is permeating this room? Upon entering this room, I thought I was going to suffocate. It's that ultra-strong perfume you wears. She spilled some of it. I was having a bad time of it myself.
We have a rule at my office that's like we're a scent-free environment because we do occasionally have we have people that come in for interviews for and like kids sometimes too because it's vulnerable sector, and so like they try to keep it scent-free, but no one listens. So like I'm like, okay, I have a stronger perfume, like I have a solid perfume that I have that's stronger that I only wear when I'm not going to work. And then I have a very, very mild one that I got from Japan that's like extremely light. Like, so you would only smell it if you like hugged me and like put your head right next to my neck, you know what I mean? But it makes, because I can kind of smell it, and like I hate smelling bad because like I've said before, I am a sweaty man. None of this like sweaty girl. I am a sweaty white man. I'm gross. And so, yeah, and then like I have an air freshener in my room and stuff too. But God, there's someone, I don't remember who it was, if I ever figured it out, but there was someone who came into the office at one point that had perfume on, and I was like, bleh! I love things that smell, but not things that are smelly. You know what I mean? It should not be overpowering. I like to go into a place and have a slight, like, how do I say? Like, lingering fragrance, you know? Yeah, how we got together was so Clopalo coded. It was literally, are you flirting with me? I've been for the past year, thanks for noticing. Because apparently I have anime protagonist brain. No, that's valid. I'm like, if someone were trying to like get together with me, I would need them to be so honest, because I'm like, I don't. And it's also awkward too, because I'm like, I'm demisexual, and so I make those connections so very rarely. It's like been quite some time since I've felt that strongly about anybody, and so like, it's it's awkward. Anyway, moving on.
I didn't think twice and opened the window, but that smell's still here. Perfume, huh? So the sweet scent in the air is perfume.
Well, it's giving off quite a stench. I bet it's some cheap no-name brand.
She said it's a famous brand from overseas.
It's a knockoff. Yes, definitely a knockoff.
No disrespect, but she forced one of those bottles on me. Here, little girl. You can have it.
I was born for a much more expensive and refined perfume. However, seeing as how you just happen to have a spare, I suppose I'll take it. Miles Edgeworth, you will hold on to this bottle without fail.
Oh.
Why can't she ever be honest about her wants?
Oh, what is this supposed to be a parody of? Fuck.
So now we have the perfume Ms. Yu wears. Just fantastic. Is that all you wanted to talk about? If so, I'm going back to investigating. Actually, I still have a few other things I wish to inquire about.
Before you do, I do want to look at this. Is that Angèle? Is that what that says? I have very bad eyesight. Alright, I'm gonna do something crazy. Can I? Hello? Oh, there we go. Okay, hold on. Hold on, everybody. Yeah, Angèle. What is that supposed to be a parody of, I wonder? Oh my god. Okay. Sorry to make it about Persona 5, but we were playing Strikers the other day, and then this happened. Normal Persona 5 things. Gay people. What's fucking new? Anyway. Okay. I wish to inquire about the things.
That snack has quite a history attached to it for me. I'm not sure I follow. Our recently departed Faraday loved the courthouse special service rules. And his daughter Kay also seemed to have taken a liking to them. That's his family. The three of us used to sit around eating them together. I don't remember this. I don't remember this. Oh. I guess that's why we wanted to get Detective Gumshoe into them too. Look at the sticky situation that came out of that.
Actually, the biggest reasons for the sticky situation we find ourselves in are the absolute poverty of that scruff face and his unnecessary soft-heartedness.
Unforgiving as always, I see.
That's so sweet.
Detective Bad, I'd like to ask you about this piece of evidence.
What a narcissist. He'd rather—
Okay, we've seen this before. And yes, so what happens in Strikers is if you go into like a cover spot, your party members will go into different ones, and the moment that you move from that cover spot, one of your party members will zip into it, because it will be seen as like the closest to you. Like that's clearly how they're programmed. And so I was playing as Ryuji, and then I like was in that cover spot, and then Joker zipped into that spot as soon as I left it. It was so funny. This? Okay. God, that's so sweet. About the fucking Swiss rolls. Guys, that's so cute.
It's just as I said. I have nothing further to add. But if there's one thing a detective honors, it's that you must have confidence in and take responsibility for anything you say. That's what it means to be a detective. In other words, you're just another stubborn horse, aren't you, detective?
Oh, he doesn't say anything about this. That would have been really crazy. Okay.
I'm not a big fan of perfume. So exactly what kind of relationship do you have with Miss Yu? Like I told you, we're connected through the victim of the KG-8 incident. Her younger sister.
And how many years ago was that? We don't know. Okay. Hold. You can see that like the text is like copy paste. That's so funny. It's just less blurry enough. There's apparently a perfume called Angel that is famous and controversial. People love it or hate it. Oh, I know. I see. I've heard of this. Okay, interesting.
I was supposed to protect her, but I failed in my duties. Just another pathetic detective. After that, Cochin's not guilty verdict sparked our pursuit of the case. Me as a detective, she as a lawyer. In other words, they're still working together.
I think they have to.
So you were in this room during the entire recess? Like I said, I made a call to the precinct to get that big lug down here. But other than that, I was waiting for the recess to end in here.
At least your story is consistent.
Earlier, you stated that you were in this lobby with Ms. Yu. Yeah, I ran into her in the hallway. She said she wanted to talk to me about something, so we came in here. Then what you're saying is that until Detective Gumshoe's arrival, you and Miss Yu were in 2 different locations? Guess I am. Interesting.
Speaking of that lawyer, she seems to have a great dislike for you.
Oof. Let's see. Ms. Yu is the sister of the victim in the KG-8 incident, and as I recall, Detective Bad was the lead detective on the case. I wonder if the reason for her disdain isn't simply because you failed to guard Cece, but because you were the lead detective on the case. You knew? I also know that today's trial involving the Cordopian Embassy staff member is being referred to as the second KG-8 incident. Now then, Detective, I believe it's time you were honest with me, and told me the truth behind your relationship with Ms. Yu and Mr. Faraday, and the KG-8 incident. Faraday and I were fucking. If you already know that much, I guess it'd be alright to tell you. Now then, I'd like to ask you a few questions about the KG-8 incident. It's not exactly a happy story, other than the people who were directly involved. You two will be the first to hear what I'm about to tell. The honest truth behind the KG-8 incident. Faraday, you and I. As you already know, we 3 were involved with the KG-8 incident. Faraday and I, we were originally on the trail of a smuggling ring. You mean the smuggling case involving one of the Amano Group's secretaries? That trial was just a front.
A facade.
Yeah, but the case became tainted. All because the witness who was going to testify about the Amano Group's ties to the smuggling ring, CCU, was killed.
I've noticed when he takes the lollipop out of his mouth, his text box speed gets faster. That's really interesting. What a cool little detail.
Then what became of the secretary who was arrested? His name was Colin
Deveray. Oh, hold. The witness who was going to testify about the Amano Group's ties to the... Yeah, he... Oh. Naruhodo.
To be honest, the guy didn't know a thing about the smuggling ring. But he confessed to knowing about it anyway. Deveray was probably being intimidated by the big boss man. Just another scapegoat. The boss man of the Amano Group. He can't seriously mean Mr. Ernest Amano. That can't be right. It's probably just Detective Bad's personal hypothesis.
Foreshadowing is a narrative device.
What is he trying to do? Suspecting Mr. Amano of being involved with smuggling?
I suppose it would have been quite difficult to secure an acquittal after he confessed. But the man who killed CCU, Manny Cochin, was a completely different person. But since he's already been acquitted once of her murder... Mr. Faraday, how could you have let him go?
If I remember correctly, I heard that Mr. Faraday had an important piece of evidence stolen from him. That wasn't Faraday's fault. It was mine. I wasn't vigilant enough. Faraday, Cece. I was supposed to protect them both. Miss Yu did mention that as well, about how Detective Bad was supposed to guard her sister. But even I, who was supposed to protect them, I fell into their trap.
What kind of a trap?
The holes in this jacket are a testament to that trap. You mean you were fired upon?
You were shot that many times in one gunfight?
No. Only about half of these are from that case. But the reason I continue to wear this jacket is to remind myself of the lessons I learned from the KG-8 incident. I see. I couldn't protect CCU, and the suspect was found not guilty. We had hit a brick wall, as far as the law was concerned. And that's when she came to the courtroom, the victim's sister. That's when I first met Callisto Yu.
God, I want to get into your relation to Faraday so bad, but fine.
About when you first met Ms. Yu. It was on the day of the verdict. It was on the day the verdict of the KG-8 incident was handed down, was it not? Yes. Faraday and I, we apologized to her from the bottom of our hearts. It was all we could do. But just saying you're sorry won't bring my sister back, she said. And then she gave me a hard slap across the face.
Well, she certainly had a lot of self-control to stop at just a slap.
Real.
If it was me, not even 100 lashes would have been punishment enough.
And that's really sweet to think of her thinking about that if something happened to Edgeworth. Siblings. Guys, that's what I'm weak to, even before my brother died. This has always been my fucking weakness. I love a found family, bro.
I suppose not. You said it herself. And she never wanted to see either of us ever again. But after that, you've seen her many times over, correct? Yeah, Faraday and I. Even after the KG-8 incident had come to a close, we continued to hunt down the smuggling ring and got involved in a variety of cases. But it was no use. We cracked so many different cases. But the result was always the same. We couldn't find the real mastermind behind the ring. Is the ring really that big? It was in the pursuit of the ring that we met you once again. It was during another trial related to the smuggling ring. Faraday was the prosecutor, and I, as the lead detective, took to the witness stand. She appeared out of the blue as the defense attorney. Her client was related to the smuggling ring. Oh, her client was related to the smuggling ring, and she was defending them. Yeah. You was pursuing the ring as best as she could as a lawyer. I think she defended Rel this time for the same reason. Come to think of it, Ms. Yu did say something to the same effect. I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for the leads regarding the KG-8 incident, all right? And for that, you have not a single qualm about defending a known killer? Don't put words into my mouth. I said no such thing. The only way I had to get close to Mr. Rel was to be his lawyer. I had no intention of covering for him. Ever. So don't you dare suggest I was going to.
It doesn't matter what her reason is. Helping a criminal is just despicable!
You're so naive, little girl. I could have stolen this lollipop from you. That's how naive you are.
How dare you insult the daughter of a Von Karma!
Just like us, you felt that she had hit the limit of what the law could do. That's all. The law is merely a tool. There is no limit to it, only the skill of the craftsman. You two are still too young, but one day you'll know what I mean. But enough sidetracking. What matters is that we met you again, in pursuit of the smuggling ring. That's all.
Okay. So about you know.
So what was your relation to
Mr. Faraday? Be normal, cat, be normal.
So what was your relation to Mr. Faraday? You even seem to know Kay fairly well. I met him when he was a rookie prosecutor. Known him ever since. And Kay, I've known her since the day she was born. Faraday and I, we cracked quite a few cases together. But you two seem to have made no progress at all in the Yatagarasu case.
Did we touch a nerve?
I only have one thing to say to you. No one knew more about the Yatagarasu than me and Faraday. That's why I was called upon to testify in today's trial. To prove that Rel was not the real Yatagarasu. Which I would have done if he hadn't turned around and accused Faraday. After the accusation, I was asked to testify, but this time, to prove or disprove the accusation. But I guess I won't be doing that either. I sense that there's more to that statement than meets the eye. Perhaps a bit more digging into the Yatagarasu is what's necessary.
Sorry. At one point, I know his thing changes to say something so fucking gay. I can't remember when that is. Might be later.
You claim to know much about the Yatagarasu. Would you care to share what you know with me? What you two should be looking for right now is proof of murderous intent towards Faraday and Rel. I agree, which is exactly why I am asking you about the Yatagarasu. What? The KG-8 incident and this second KG-8 incident. Both of these cases are tied to the smuggling ring. And in both of these cases, the witness who was to testify about the ring was murdered. However, there is one point in which they differ, and that is the presence or absence of the great thief Yatagarasu. Mr. Rel claimed to be the Yatagarasu. However, in the middle of the trial, he suddenly declared Mr. Faraday to be the real Yatagarasu. Then, during the recess, they were both killed. Don't you find that to be the least bit odd?
Mouse Edgeworth! Stop beating around the bush and just spit it out already.
I believe that there must be some reason that the two men suspected of being the Yatagarasu were both killed at the same time. A reason, huh? And so, in order to catch Mr. Faraday's and Mr. Rel's cold-blooded killer, I feel that I need to learn as much as I can about the Yatagarasu. If it will help you solve this case. And I'll tell you the reason why we've never caught the Yatagarasu.
What was that sudden outburst for? You almost made me whip you by accident!
No! Still accidentally whipped me anyway. There are three main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be one step ahead. First, the Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. Third, the Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind. Ever.
Is this a persona? Sorry.
I see. So, those are the Yatagarasu's special traits.
Sounds like an incredibly elusive thief.
The Yatagarasu has never been caught on tape, never tries to draw anyone's attention, and would never do something as lowbrow as commit murder. That's how I knew Rel wasn't the real Yatagarasu right away.
But you can't use that sort of logic on its own to prove that he wasn't.
Malgus is the type who only gets allergies in springtime. Phoenix gets a cold in spring and winter. Yeah, I don't get colds, but I like the sinus drainage because I try to keep a humidifier on and like keep my my space. How do I say? As temperature and climate controlled as possible. That's okay. You don't have to apologize, Ivy. I see all your typos. I just don't always comment on them. You should have seen some of the typos I was making at work today. Sheesh. At this point, turn up Persona 5 Strikers. No. Persona 5 Strikers is the game that I'm going through with Megan, and we're having a grand time. And I can't even like repeat some of the jokes because everyone will think we're so weird. They're our jokes. Only like Nem and Danny get to know them.
But you can't use that sort of logic on its own to prove that he wasn't.
Listen, little girl, I'm not done talking yet. What's different about this time was that evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police. And the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Cordopian embassy, the Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu sent the evidence. Until now, the Yatagarasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time.
Then there was the forbidden jokes. That's because I know Nem in real life. But also, I don't think I even tell Nem all the jokes that Megan and I make because they're atrocious. And also, Nem hasn't played even regular Persona 5. So, like... No. Only my IRL friends that are cool get to know these jokes. And only Megan and I appreciate them, to be so honest. Phoenix definitely texts Miles crazy and romantic random stuff while high on painkillers when he's sick. I don't think he has to be high on painkillers to do it either.
The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I, and a select few others, knew about. In that case, how can you be so sure that it was the Yatagarasu who sent it? That's easy. A special card that only...
There's a calling card!
A special card that only the Yatagarasu uses was attached. That's how I can be so sure. And just what sort of card is it? Here, take a look at this article.
Oh, wrong voice.
Here, take a look at this article.
There's not so many layers to this. It's just Megan and I have a joke. An ongoing bit. A bit that we've run fucking dry. That we keep pushing. Even in Strikers. That's only funny to us. But because occasionally it gets referenced with other things, people I know in real life have an inkling of the bit. That's all. But mostly it stays on this couch where I am right now. Because we're annoying about it. What a silly design.
Whenever the Yatagarasu wants to publicize something, a white card is sent along with the stolen information.
White.
But when we questioned Rel about what was sent along with the white card, Rel had no idea what it was. Ah, and that's how Detective Bad knew that Mr. Rel was a phony. Thank you very much. I have a much better understanding of the Yatagarasu now.
Oh, hello. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes?
His Honor would like to transfer the evidence from today's trial over to you. So if you could please head over to the courtroom, it'd be much appreciated, sir.
Understood. I'll be there shortly. Detective Bad, what does the law mean to you? Finding the answer to that question is the only reason I'm still alive.
I love him.
I became a prosecutor to find the answer to that question myself. And to play a part in the ensuring that all criminals everywhere are found guilty.
Ivy, you've never played Persona? Dude. Yeah. Okay, here's how I recommend it. Of the 3 that I've played, the 3 main games, I've never played 1 or 2 because they're very... they're much more inaccessible and also, harder. I feel like I'd like to. I feel like I'd like the two games. 3 is depressing and dark, but also very inspirational. 4 is a murder mystery. If you liked JoJo's season 4, you'll like Persona 4. It's a murder mystery in a small town, and it's pretty silly until it's like not. The tone shifts are really abrupt and sometimes like, wow. And then Persona 5 is about Phantom Thieves and justice and what it means to different people, and also somewhat of the themes of Persona 5, but perhaps not as well written, of like what it means to be alive. But 3 is my favorite. Easy. I've been on a very big 5 kick lately, but don't get it twisted. 3, I look across where I'm sitting right now, up above my little TV. I see Akihiko up there, and I feel away. I cried so hard when I got that figure. Yeah, Persona 3 is so personally meaningful. I played that game the first time my sophomore year of college, and I was like, it actually is the game that helped me realize how mentally unwell I was. For the first time, I was like, I have depression. I need to get help. Like, that sounds terrible, but if that hadn't happened, I don't know that I'd be here, you know? And Persona 4 and Persona 5 are also very meaningful to me. Persona 4 I have a lot of fun memories with. It's my least favorite of the 3 that I've played, but I still love it very much. I like Vanilla better than Golden, which I know is a take, but come at me. And then Royal, as I've mentioned before, the release of Persona 5 Royal actually, like, really got me through Chris's death at the very beginning of it all, in a very real way. It got me through the beginning of the pandemic as well, but even more importantly, that other part, and that's why it'll eventually end up on stream. So they're all great. But 3 and Reload, holy, it's so good. Anyway, are we still September 10th? Oh, hello, Judge. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Thank you.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Edgeworth.
It appears that his honor is still a bit dispirited.
For the first time today, I experienced what it's like to stand at the witness stand.
It's always when a game helps you mentally. The Ace Attorney series is so special to me as it's gotten me through the last years of high school and now college. Yeah, I think Ace Attorney is something I've experienced more recently. But like, it's brought me, the thing with Ace Attorney, it's brought me my current closest friends. Nem and I became friends because our mutual friend saw that we were both in Ace Attorney and was like, it's so funny when 2 of my friends who don't know each other at all post about the same things. And I said, well then introduce us, bitch, as a joke. And then they did. And here we are, almost 3 years later. I hang out with another person that I met through Nem every week at least once in person. Like, there's something to be said for what video games are capable of and how they're capable of changing your psyche. And here we are. And then Nem, guys, I gotta brag on Nem for a second. Nem drove all the way up to where I am. Like, how many hours? 20 plus hours to come visit us. And hang out with me and watch Mozart with me. And then introduce me to Danny and Megan. And those are people that I like see. 22 hours, Jesus Christ, dude. I've been thinking of it because that cardigan that you got me, I get compliments on it everywhere, and I wore it to the research day, and people were like, "Oh my god, it's so cute!" And I was like, "Thanks, my friend got it for me." And maybe you don't remember them from last year, but they were here. But yeah, like it's so cool how, and like Kingdom Hearts, right? Kingdom Hearts is how I met like my 2 friends of 20 plus years now. That's insane. That's insane. And that's because of the video game. So I don't really like when people shit on gaming as like a hobby or whatever. I don't really get it. I'm like, oh, you don't do it right. You don't do it right. You don't do it with like the joy. I'm glad you're still here, by the way. Just thought I should say that. We obviously don't know each other personally, but your streams bring a smile to my face. Oh, and that counts a lot in my opinion. Thank you, Ivy. I really enjoy having you as well. I really look forward to when we can talk more about Klapala when it's relevant again. I'm very much in my Persona 5 brain right now. But I still have an unfinished fic for Klapala that I actually had to stop writing because it was so emotional. It was making me cry every time I worked on it, and so I was like, I have to put this down. It was too personal. I won't lie, the dedication Nim to go through 20 plus hours visit. I know, right? Nim's a great friend. Okay, I gotta brag on my friends. I'm taking a break here for a second, I guess, to like brag on my friends, but like, I've had, how do I say this? I was not someone who knew how to set boundaries in my friendships at all until very recently. Like within the last, since I started going to therapy in 2018. So 7 years. I just didn't know how. And I didn't even realize I was lacking them until I was seeing someone on and off again, and it was just like, ugh. And then when I tried to put down boundaries in that time, I was met with immediate resistance, and so I would fold, right? And so what happened was a lot of my close friends are still my friends, but we're not as close as we used to be because I put down boundaries that I realized were not there before. And like one of a few things happened. They either accepted that and then we just ended up not being as close. We grew apart naturally, or there was resistance because like they aren't as in a healthy enough place to realize why I put those boundaries down, fully. And so it's been really nice. So I met Nem through a mutual friend who has gone through a lot of similar issues, like has had a very weird life like I have. And so that's how I became friends with this friend. And like, me and this friend like we've had some issues in the past, but it's nothing that we haven't worked through and talked out. And then we would like even come back to it and be like, you know what? This thing that we talked about a couple months ago, it came like a realization came to me because we're both a little slow at processing our emotions. And so I trusted this friend to introduce me to someone who was cool because I was like, okay, I trust your taste. But little did I know that I would talk to this person every fucking day, basically. Like, little did I know that this would also lead to me getting other friends where I live now. Because I was just about to move to Canada when I met Megan and Danny because of them. I didn't even know that they were living, because either I didn't catch it or Nim didn't like remember to tell me, but I didn't catch that they were living in the city that I was going to be living in. And I was like, what? And so like, I feel really lucky to have finally these really solid friendships from like at the beginning. We've like got these boundaries and we talk about things and like honest with our feelings even when it sucks, and like it's really nice. So thanks, Ace Attorney. And thanks, our mutual friends. Love you. You're crazy, but I love you. I just had the Supernatural Distill and Danganronpa Sayoma fixed right now, but man, I need to qualify it. Yeah, I would love that. Boundaries are so important in relationships. I've had a toxic friendship in the past, and that stuff can really mess up how you approach other friendships. Yeah, I mean, I never learned how to do boundaries because I grew up like Edgeworth in a narcissistic parent home, so you don't learn boundaries very well. But we'll talk about more of that stuff in the next investigations game. I'll have things to say. Anyway.
Oh, I now have a greater appreciation for just how hard it is to give a testimony. But there's no reason for you to be all depressed about this, Your Honor. As a judge, no one expects you to think about anything other than the verdict.
Francisca, there was no need to further depress His Honor.
But I'm not trying to, Miles.
Your Honor. Your Honor, I've come to collect the evidence that was to be transferred to me. Your Honor, the evidence? Your Honor!
Oh! You! Yes, can I help you?
I'd like to collect the evidence now, sir.
Your Honor, do you think you can stay focused long enough to at least do your job?
I'll find your boundaries. I mean, I think too, like, if I had met these people earlier when I didn't know how to set boundaries, would the friendships be as good too? Like, you know what I mean? It's important that I learn those skills as well. But like, and like vice versa, that we all learned these skills at the parts of our life where we learn them, so that when we met at the point in time that we did, we could have these friendships, and it's nice.
Yes, I'm sorry. And I would, except that the defense attorney has yet to arrive.
Oh, she is busy with the investigation. So let's keep this brief, shall we?
Very well. In that case, please confirm that all the pieces of evidence are present. Furthermore, the evidence that was used in the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Well are also included, so please go ahead and use them in your investigation to their case.
Understood, Your Honor. The pieces of evidence that were used in the murder of those two men. This could be a very good chance for me to find new leads regarding their case. And maybe even something that will finally lead me to the truth.
I have placed all the evidence over at the prosecutor's bench for you.
I see. Thank you very much. I will go and confirm that they are all accounted for.
But first I'm gonna peep at her evidence. What's she got?
Evidence that Ms. Yu prepared is just sitting here on this table.
You know you can't just walk off with it, right?
Of course I do. Ms. Yu must have been caught off guard by her client's sudden accusation. I wonder how she would have defended Mr. Bell in that case if he were still alive.
Anything new?
It's the viewing gallery. This is where the riffraffs sit when they come to watch us. It's the same.
Setting boundaries makes you understand who your true people are, the ones willing to accept it and still talk and enjoy your company. Yeah, I mean, if someone's uncool with following your boundaries, it usually is a sign of something. Not necessarily that they're a bad person, but it's like a sign something's not quite right.
So this is the evidence related to today's Codopian Embassy trial from Mr. Faraday's bag.
You mean the evidence bag that was on the table in lobby number 2, right?
Yes. Finally, now we can take a look at the evidence itself, and not just data about them. Let's be sure to thoroughly examine them while we still have the time.
Agreed. I want to take a good look at all of the evidence from the embassy murder too.
And why is that?
Because! I still don't fully understand what today's trial was about!
Ugh. Don't point your crop at me just because you don't know something.
And don't you try to order me around just because Papa chose you today.
You see, someone is still sore about not being picked by Mr. Von Karma. It's also
real to see the knife up close.
So we have the knife, the gun, an envelope. And what's this organizer doing here?
I don't know, maybe organizing things, doing things.
Help. Oh, that's right, I completely forgot to tell you.
About what, Your Honor?
They found Mr. Faraday's personal organizer inside that evidence bag of his. Detective Bad requested it be passed along to you. He said it would help the investigation.
Oh, interesting. Did his thing change yet? Did they take it out in this game?
Detective Bad said that.
What a strange stroke of luck.
Well, never look a gift horse in the mouth. You might as well flip through it too. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
Gun. File criminal with a gun.
This gun, it was originally used to kill the Cordopian embassy staff member. When the crime was reported, the responding police found Mr. Rell still holding it, which led to his immediate arrest.
And then, this gun took the original shooter's life. How ironic.
Indeed. There doesn't seem to be anything else we can learn from this piece of evidence.
Knife.
What do you have? A knife!
No! It's the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday.
Who would have thought that such a beautiful piece of art could be used for such a cruel act?
Who are you, Yusuke?
And it's never crossed your mind that you use your riding crop for the wrong purpose.
Oh, nothing more about the knife? Oh, okay. Interesting. Is it because we've already looked at it here? Like these things we've already looked, right? Wasn't there something? There's something.
The trigger, such a small piece of metal, yet it can take a whole life away. I wish that I'd never have to lay my eyes on another gun again. Oh, that's sad.
What's this? Are you afraid of guns, Miles?
It's not that at all. It's just...
Well, I am not afraid of these things in the least. Spoken like a real European.
Where does she find the gall to say such things like that?
Okay. Oh, I can't observe this? That sucks. This we've looked at before, there was nothing. I can't look at this. Why won't it let me look at these things? Boring. Alright. Oops, oops, oops! My bad.
Mr. Faraday's organizer. It appears he was in the habit of using it.
It looks like he wrote a strategy for getting Mr. Rell convicted down in here.
I've collected the evidence I need to prove that Rell was the killer. Between the handgun Rell had on him when he was arrested and the surveillance tape, I should be able to prove that he was the one.
It appears that Mr. Faraday honestly believed that Mr. Rell was the killer in this case.
The sound of his handgun going off was recorded with superb clarity on the surveillance video. I also have evidence that I can use to prove that Rell is not the real Yatagarasu.
And it would appear that he had proof that Mr. Rell was not the Yatagarasu.
No matter how he may try to play it, as long as I have the Yatagarasu's key, I can prove he's a phony. If I present it to him in court, it should clear everything up.
And he apparently also had a very definitive piece of evidence.
It's been a long battle. I hope that this will finally bring it to an end.
Yes, I believe that Mr. Faraday was well prepared to discredit any claim Mr. Rell may have made about being the real Yatagarasu.
And he had a way to prove that Mr. Rell was the guilty party in the embassy murder.
This organizer is a clue straight from Mr. Faraday. I'll have to take my time and give it a thorough read later.
Or I read it now.
Look, there's a picture stuck between these pages here.
It appears to be a key.
A key! Key! I can't.
And a rather ornate one at that. Just look at the design on the handle.
It's giving House and Fata Morgana.
The craftsmanship is superb. Could this be the Yatagarasu's key Mr. Faraday mentioned in his organizer?
The Yatagarasu's key?
Detective Bad said something earlier. What's different about this time was that evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police. And the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Cordopian embassy, the Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu sent the evidence. Until now, the Yatagarasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media, but not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I, and a select few others knew about.
Mr. Faraday must have been trying to keep this secret key safe.
As the prosecutor on both the Yatagarasu and the smuggling ring cases, that's to be expected.
This is my favorite case in the game. The case is fun, has some good twists, and obviously the sibling dynamic capture with Franziska and Miles, and the development of Miles and Kay's dynamic. Yeah, I think this is probably my favorite too, but the third one comes very close as like a close second. The last case, the pacing at the end ruins the rest of it. Everything up until that is fabulous.
That's odd.
What is it?
Mr. Faraday didn't mention anything about a knife in his organizer.
That certainly is odd.
The weapon that was used to kill the Cordopian embassy staff member was the gun. But if that's the case, then where did the knife that was used to murder Mr. Faraday come from?
Isn't it obvious? It was brought into the courthouse by Mr. Val. That's the only logical conclusion, right?
No, because it's not that easy to smuggle a weapon like that in here. Every person who enters the courthouse doors is checked thoroughly for contraband. Furthermore, the suspect was handcuffed, making it impossible for him to bring a knife as large as this inside.
He was also coming from, like, jail.
In that case, how do you suppose this knife ended up inside the courthouse?
I need to think carefully here. There was nothing related to the knife written anywhere in Mr. Faraday's organizer. However, it is a fact that this knife came from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. Conversely, there was one item listed in Mr. Faraday's organizer that no one has claimed to see today. So in order to solve this mystery, I believe I will need to take another good look at the evidence.
Miles Edgeworth, can I take the fact that you have yet to answer me to mean that you don't have an answer for me?
Actually, I do know the answer, Franziska.
What? Then what is it?
One of the pieces of evidence we've been holding has been hiding a secret of its own. And it was through this piece of evidence that the knife was brought into the courthouse.
I mean, it looks similar to the fucking key. Can we... Oh, we can't look at this yet. Yeah, the key.
Take that!
This Yatagarasu's key Mr. Faraday mentions in his organizer. This is how the knife was brought into the courthouse.
You're not making any sense, Miles Edgeworth.
You just need to look a bit closer, Franziska, to see what I mean. Don't the color and ornamentation of the key's handle remind you of anything?
They do remind me of the knife.
Very good. Both the Yatagarasu's key in this photo and the murderous knife have this very unique design on their handles. Furthermore, even though Mr. Faraday mentions the Yatagarasu's key, the only object we found at the crime scene was the knife.
You don't seriously mean to say that?
It appears that you finally caught up. And yes, I do mean to say that these two pieces are, in fact, one and the same.
But that's impossible!
Even if that is what you believe, we should still investigate this possibility. Now then, let us examine this knife in a little more detail.
That's what I was trying to do earlier, you cunt. It's fine. I love you, but... Fine. Blood.
It's the weapon that was used to kill Mr. Faraday. The handle and the blade itself both have beautiful designs worked into them.
Look, there's even a flower-shaped design in this gold section here. If this hadn't been used as a tool for murder, I'd want it for myself.
I see. She seems to be drawn to the embellishments. Too bad this isn't mine to give.
Aww. He was like, yeah, I'd give it to you if I could, girly. Okay. Yeah. This. Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say, those, they make butterflies.
I can't believe it turned into a key! To think there was such a trick to this thing!
So the weapon used to kill Mr. Faraday is actually the key the Yatagarasu stole. This piece of information is more critical than anything we've learned up until now.
Okay. Yay.
Frankly, I'm shocked. But hold on, I want to...
How did it update?
What does this say now? Okay. Okay.
Mr. Faraday only mentioned the key aspect of this piece of evidence in his organizer. It's possible that even he had no idea the key was hiding a knife blade inside.
But if that's true, then only someone who knew about the key to knife trick could have killed Mr. Faraday.
Even among law enforcement, this key was top secret. We're looking for someone who knew even more about the key than even Mr. Faraday.
Even twice. We didn't need that.
Meaning that the only person it could be is the one who sent the key in the first place. The great thief Yatagarasu.
Ha! Then maybe Mr. Rao really was the Yatagarasu. And he was the one who killed Mr. Faraday. Isn't that one possible scenario?
No, not really. Especially since Mr. Faraday was absolutely convinced that Mr. Rel was not the Yatagarasu. Besides, as Detective Bad said earlier. But when we questioned Rel about what was sent along with the white card, Rel had no idea what it was.
He'd give it to her if it wasn't covered in blood. Ace Attorney does sibling relationships. Yeah, Ace Attorney doesn't do certain things well, like writing women, but it does do those sibling relationships well. We love to see it. Oh, I was too busy thinking about the siblings.
I see. Alright then, I guess the person who knows the trick behind this key is someone else. And that person is the real Yatagarasu.
It seems that this key is truly the key to solving this case. Boo!
This dynamic and Apollo and Trucy come to mind. Yeah, Apollo and Trucy's sibling dynamic. Phoenix and Maya. Maya and Pearly. A knife. Okay. So, organizer. What's in here? Or documents, rather.
I took a quick look through these documents before the trial started.
For I wasn't even afforded the opportunity to skim it.
I suppose I should explain it to you then.
Yes, you should. Perfectly and in its entirety, if you please.
On the night of September 8th, an embassy staff member was killed in front of the embassy. The staff member died of shock due to being shot in the heart. Mackerel was brought in that night as a suspect and thoroughly questioned, because the murder weapon was found on him, for which he was arrested on the spot.
A simpleton of a man, that's what he was.
Perhaps he was, for the weapon wasn't the only incriminating evidence we had. Mr. Rel was caught in the act on film by a security camera.
He was an even bigger simpleton than I'd thought. I can't believe he didn't notice a security camera.
The Cordopian embassy's security system is supposedly very well designed. He may have simply not been aware that there was a camera in the area.
So, have you seen the contents of the video for yourself?
Yes, the surveillance video the security camera took was played during the trial by Mr. Faraday. You can clearly identify Mr. Rel on it. Even the sound of the gunshot was crystal clear.
So the footage included sound, huh? I don't think I'd ever want to see the moment of someone's death in real life.
Yeah, people on the internet, stop posting that shit.
Me neither. That's odd. We're short one piece of evidence. And the piece that's missing is the surveillance video that was played in court.
The surveillance video? How could the piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go?
The video showing the moment in which Mr. Rel committed the murder. Where could it have gone indeed?
Are you done with your inspection of the evidence?
Yes, I'm finished. However, Your Honor, I am missing a single piece of prosecutorial evidence.
Your Honor, were you derelict in your duties?
What? No, I dare not neglect my duties. What do you think? What do you take me for?
No, Your Honor. The most important piece of evidence in today's trial, the surveillance video, is not amongst the evidence you laid out for me.
But I brought Mr. Faraday's whole bag with me from the crime scene. Maybe the tape is still somewhere at the crime scene?
There's something wrong here. Something about this missing piece of evidence. It would appear that for me to find the answers I seek, I will have to pay another visit to the scene of the crime. Defendant lobby number 2.
Hey! Pookie! Look how young he is! Look how silly! Look how silly he is! Put the hat on. I desperately want to see you with the hat on. What a weirdo. Hey, Stinky! Hi!
That's Detective Bad. But who is he with?
I've never seen that officer before.
So, did you find it?
No, not yet. And I've looked everywhere.
I see. Well then, please continue with the search.
Understood. I'll continue the search. Alright. So you're the one running this show. Prosecutors like you shouldn't even be allowed at the crime scenes.
How dare you? Just who do you think you are?
Big dick energy as he walks away. I forgot he has a tie as a baby. Yeah. They said no chest.
What was that all about? And who was that man just now?
Whoever he was. I've never seen a more impudent officer in my life.
Does he even know we're standing right here behind him?
Yes, he has a mirror.
I know you're standing right behind me. Let me try that again. I was still in Long's voice. So I know you're standing right behind me. What do you want, kids?
It looks like you were paying attention after all.
Of course I was. I have eyes in the back of my head. Ah, so that mirror isn't for vanity's sake. It's for him to keep an eye out on who or what is behind him at all times. So tell me, Detective Bad, who was that rude man just now? The guy came here from the Republic of Jungfa to study. He's Agent Long. He's trying everything he can to revive the lost honor of his family. He's traveling the world to study different philosophies of detainment from scratch. By visiting various police departments around the world, he has a lot of dedication.
Like, so Miles literally thought smash and walked away. But I feel like at this point he would have been passed because he would have been like, ugh, a prosecutor. Oh, we don't get his little profile. It's okay. He would have been 20 as well. He would have been baby.
He's still just a rookie cop. But I sense a strong grudge from some sort from him.
I bet he's a Virgo.
The guy's more useful than Gumshoe, even if he is rude.
Well, he sure has a lot of guts to come to this country and give prosecutors a hard time.
I agree. However, I can think of one young lady that statement also applies to. Anyway, what was that agent looking for, Detective Bad?
Earlier, that little girl was poking around in lobby number 1 as well.
Like I said before, it's got nothing to do with the two of you.
She looking in for the video?
I highly doubt that it has nothing to do with me. Fine. If this is the game I must play, then I will take this opportunity to draw out what he's been hiding and what happened in this room straight from him.
Hello?
Earlier, you were in lobby number 1, and now you're here in lobby number 2. You are quite the busy man, Detective Bad. Multiple returns to a crime scene brings about success. That's what we detectives say. I see. In that case, you wouldn't mind if I asked about what happened again, correct? I don't have anything left to say to you, boy. Boy! You'll see, I will draw my answer from you one way or another.
Would it kill you to help us even a tiny bit in our investigation?
I gave Faraday's notebook to the judge earlier. That's help enough, don't you think?
Ugh.
Please, we are asking you for just a bit more of your cooperation. Don't push me, kid.
He's grieving. He's a widow. When does it change to the gay shit? Did they take it out?
I'd like to ask once again about what happened here at the time of the crime. I refuse to answer. Any more investigating you do would be a waste of time. Besides, how am I supposed to answer questions about things I don't know about?
Things you don't know about? But aren't you supposed to know everything?
He should. Wait, is it possible? Maybe he doesn't know about the trick behind that piece of evidence. I should try showing it to him. It may prove to be the key to getting some answers from Detective Bad.
Which one? Does it matter?
Detective Bad, did you know of the existence of the item in this photograph? Of course I did. It's my job to know everything related to the Yatagarasu case. In that case, let me ask you something. Did you know that the knife that killed Mr. Faraday and this Yatagarasu's key are one and the same? What? That's impossible.
It looks like he didn't know after all.
This piece of evidence, which we call the Yatagarasu's key, is actually a well-camouflaged knife. Mr. Faraday was planning to use this Yatagarasu's key to prove that Mr. Rell was not the real Yatagarasu. Isn't that correct? I guess so. However, Mr. Faraday had no idea that it was, in fact, a knife. Yeah, I have to admit, neither one of us knew that fact. And if neither of us knew, then no one in law enforcement knew either. How did we miss something as big as this? I noticed that since a little while ago, you appear to be searching for something. I presume that this key is what you are searching for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right. And why were you searching for it? Because I promised Faraday. I promised that I'd protect that key with my life. But after he was killed, the key disappeared from Faraday's evidence bag. Who would have thought that the key is what took Faraday's life? Detective Bad, so that we may find the truth, please, testify for me once more. All right. But it doesn't matter how many times I tell you about what happened. Nothing will change.
Alright. Yap to me. Hey, King. Yap.
Detective Bad, I ask that you please testify once more about what happened in lobby number 2 and what you experienced in lobby number 1. My answer is still the same. And this is the last time I'm going to do this. That's fine, because I only need this one last time to clear everything up and find the truth behind this case.
Oh.
I was in lobby number 1, talking with you. We were talking about some trivial things. I heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to reconvene. When we heard it, you and I immediately dashed out into the hallway together. I saw Gumshoe goofing around there, and then we all ran into lobby number 2.
It sounds like the exact same story he told us before.
Indeed. However, I feel that we have yet to draw out all the information that we can.
I kind of forget how this goes. I remember the big things, but I don't remember what order we figured them out in.
Hold it!
What were you saying?
Why did Miss Yu choose lobby number 1?
That's a good question, actually. That's a super good question.
Answer me! Who knows? She just said she had something she wanted to talk to me about. And we walked into lobby number 1 together. That's all. So his answer remains the same as before, I see.
Hold it!
I was hoping you could expand on what exactly you were discussing with Ms. Yu. Trivial stuff. It was nothing important. That's for me to decide. Alright, I suppose that's for him to decide. Moving on then.
Silence, bottom!
Hold it!
Until you heard the gunshot, did you notice anything else that was out of the ordinary? I didn't hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot. the gunshot Detective Bad heard was really the one from the murder, that would give that other piece of evidence an entirely different meaning. I ask that you please amend your testimony with that statement just now. Sure.
I didn't hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot.
Hold it.
Oh, 'cause balloon.
Detective Bad, you honestly don't remember hearing anything else? Yeah. Is it possible you were so involved in your conversation that you missed something? I've been a detective for a long time, and even if I were involved in something, I've got quite the habit of keeping tabs on everything that goes on around me. If there had been some other strange sound, you can be sure I would have heard it. I suppose with this detective, that's probably very likely. So the gunshot.
Hold it.
Also, I'm sorry if you can hear me scratching at my skin. My chest breaks out when I get sweaty and with allergies. And so I've just been like gently clawing at my chest. It feels good. I'm not picking at it. I'm just like picking, like scraping the oil out of it. Do you know what I mean? You know, sometimes you get like with your nostrils touching your cheeks, and you kind of can just like scrape your nail and like scrape out all the dead skin. It's like that. Okay, anyway.
Why did the two of you dash out into the hallway straight away? Because we clearly heard the sound of a gunshot.
I am gently clawing. I don't know what else to say.
And we knew it came from somewhere nearby. And how did you know that it was a gunshot? In my line of work, you hear enough of them to know.
Do you think that Bad was one of Miles' like first kind of silly celebrity crushes? But I think it was Gumshoes. I think it was Gumshoes. I know what you mean, but that's such a funny way to put it. Okay. I don't know how else to describe it other than like the long explanation that I had to give when I realized that gently clawing is not what I wanted people to think, actually. Man, I always spill water with this particular water bottle. Oh my god.
I suppose it's only natural for a detective to know what a real gunshot sounds like.
If it echoes, it's a firework. If it doesn't echo, it's a gunshot. Sorry. That's something we used to say in the Midwest.
But given the circumstances, the only person I could think of whose life would have been in danger was Faraday. That's why I ran out into the hallway right away and headed for where he was.
Also because you're in love with him.
Hold it.
Detective Gumshoe was there in the hallway? Yeah. Why didn't you attest to that earlier? When I saw Gumshoe, it was after I had heard the gunshot. Having seen him then didn't change the fact that he still could have done the deed. Done the deed. Ah! Sounds exactly like what Detective Bad told us before, however.
Is there something in particular we should be asking the detective about?
There just might be. No one knew that the knife is actually the Yatagarasu's key. Reflecting on that, perhaps there are other things that we know now, but Detective Bad doesn't yet. Yes, that should be my angle of attack.
So you see that with Gumshoe, I agree. Yeah, I would see that Edgeworth, at this point in time, would not be able to see him as a father figure yet. Like, not in totality. But I think as he got older, he would be like, I respect this old man, and I wish that he was the one who had raised me. Making me sad. Okay, anyway. Trivial things. Heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to reconvene. I didn't hear any other strange sounds. Well, what about pap? What about pap?
Objection.
Detective Bad, does this balloon fragment remind you of anything? It's the same color as the one Kay was holding.
Oh, so you knew about that girl's balloon?
Yeah. I was sitting with her up in the gallery. During the recess, just before we split up, I filled that balloon up for her.
Oh,
Well, as you may have already surmised, this piece did indeed come from Kay's balloon. So, what about the balloon? I wonder if you might remember hearing this balloon pop at some point? What are you getting at? This fragment was found in the hallway right in front of lobby number 2. Furthermore, it was the sound of this balloon popping that the judge mistook as a gunshot. Oh, so the sound that the judge heard was not actually a gunshot, huh?
on top of that, His Honor said that he heard the balloon pop about 20 minutes before the trial was to reconvene.
Yes, which means that His Honor heard the balloon pop in the hallway when you were in lobby number 1, Detective Bad. And if you were in lobby number 1 at that time, you were close enough that you should have heard the balloon popping as well. So? Don't give me a so!
We just proved that there was a flaw in your testimony!
The crackling of the truth is louder than the sound of your sweet naivete cracking.
What does that mean?
And since you kids don't seem to know, let me fill you in on something. Did you ever stop to think why the doors and walls of this place seem so rugged? It's because they were designed to keep secrets from being leaked.
Hold it! What is that supposed to mean?
The doors and walls are super thick. The window panes are double layered. To top it all off, even the curtains are made of a special sound-absorbing material. Then you mean... Since I was shut up inside lobby number 1, there was no way I could have heard that sound.
No!
I knew that's what he was going to say.
Then that means that Scarface's testimony is completely useless. If the rooms are soundproof, then of course he wouldn't hear any sign of a struggle. No!
That's also why it's only natural that I didn't hear the balloon popping.
But then how did you hear the gunshot?
Now, do you get it, kids?
Miles, I thought we were supposed to be the ones finding flaws in his logic. Not the other way around.
I'm gonna save. I don't think I'll be able to finish this case today after all. Forgot how much of this is actually left.
The other way around. It's not possible to hear the sound of a balloon popping if one were in lobby number 1. However, if we examine the situation in reverse, a person standing in the hallway should not be able to hear a real gunshot either. And yet Detective Gumshoe claims to have heard it while he was standing in the hallway. Detective Bad, if that is the case, how exactly did you hear the gunshot? What do you mean, how? I just did. It would appear that you have yet to realize the contradiction in your own words. Oh, how so? If the rooms are as soundproof as you say they are, then how did the sound of the gunshot enter your ears? I see what you mean. I guess I'm more out of it from Faraday's murder than I had thought.
I love Yowie. Guys, in times like these, in our world, I urge everyone to have something that they love and that they can, like, really just sink their teeth into. For me, it's Yowie. So enjoyable stream. Yay! I mean, we're not ending yet. I'm going to the to be continued for sure. Not to mention I the Somnium Files tomorrow. Yeah, I'm so excited for that. No, actually, you know what? We're not playing I the Somnium Files tomorrow. We're playing fucking Minecraft, remember? Miles probably drinks so much tea when he's sick, like more than he already does. Projecting my annoying allergies onto him. What tea do you use that helps your allergies, out of curiosity? I only really drink herbal tea in the morning at work to warm up, because the office is so cold when I first go in.
Which means what exactly, Miles? In the end, what does it all boil down to?
It boils down to this. There must be a reason. As to how detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard a gunshot they theoretically couldn't have. It looks like we need to examine
the state of the crime scene again, huh?
State of the crime scene? Wait! Can it be? It's that ultra-strong perfume.
She spilled some of it. Whoa, way too noisy.
The surveillance video? How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go?
Okay. All right. Hold on. All right. What order does this go in? I'm going to say it's these two first. Nope. Okay. Not exactly a shining example of a perfect line of logic. All right. I get it. So it's these two then. Yes? Shit. Okay. All right. It's these two then. Okay. I have to work backwards. Okay. There we go. Okay.
It's simply not possible for the killer to have escaped through barred windows. And yet, the fragrance of the perfume managed to escape from defendant lobby number 1. Of course, incorporeal things can move freely through these open, barred windows.
All right. This. This is not how I would have pieced these things together, by the way. A tape and a VCR is how I would have linked it. And then the window.
Now then, what else besides a smell can go both in and out of an open, barred window? The answer is sound. So no matter how careful the killer was, if the windows were open, the jig would be up. And since the windows in both defendant lobby number 1 and the hallway were open, that explains how the sound of a gunshot could be heard in both locations. The missing piece of evidence is a video that shows the moment in which Mr. Rell killed the embassy staff member. The sound of the gunshot left quite an impression on me when it was played during the trial. The video should have been returned to Mr. Faraday's evidence bag for the recess, and brought back here. If it disappeared after that time, then it's possible that the tape is still here in this room. Eureka! The evidence that the missing
Huh? Oh my god. The evidence that the missing evidence created for me. What a weird sentence.
Is the gunshot sound that no one else should have been able to hear in the first place.
Miles, what have you been thinking about? You've just been standing there like
Fucking... Peppermint and lemon ginger are especially good for sore throats, I feel. I also tend to drink sleepy time tea at night. I can't say how much it helps, but I would choose to believe it does. I use peppermint for tummy. Tummy troubles. And then, yeah, lemon ginger... like hot lemon water, honestly. I use hot water for throat things these days. I have chamomile, vanilla, and honey blend too. But it's probably my least favorite because the vanilla is too strong. And then I have the passion flower chamomile, which is the stress relief one, and then I have a sleepy time one that I was sent from Australia that I forget that it has in it off the top of my head. But it's good. It's actually probably my favorite one.
Stop wasting time thinking, and let's start looking again.
It's not a waste of time to think, for I have figured out where we should look.
And where would that be?
I believe we should examine the television. The TV. Well, you kids have fun. Go ahead and examine whatever you like.
Okay. Yay.
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
Curtains.
The window is wide open.
The scent of flowers is being blown in from the outside. I think it softens the heavy air in here somewhat.
Windows in both lobby number 1 and number 2 were opened.
Maybe they were trying to air out the room, just like in lobby number 1. Maybe they sought to ease some of the tension through some fresh air.
With Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell in the same room, I imagined the latter to be the case. But was there really a need to open the window just for that? Earlier, when Detective Gumshoe touched this.
I just noticed the TV brand is called Blunt instead of Sharp. That's really funny.
It made a most terrible racket.
You mean when Scruffy turned the television on, right?
Actually, come to think of it, I don't think Detective Gumshoe actually touched the television at all. Furthermore, it seemed more like when a video feed suddenly stops. At least, it did to me.
I wonder why that is. 'Cause she doesn't know what a VCR is. She's Gen Z.
Is that right? She would be Gen Z. If she's 19 during 2016... Hold on, I gotta do math. During 2016... No. During 2019, she's... Right? Yeah, 2019. So she was born in 2000. Oh yeah, she's Gen Z. For sure, for sure. Okay.
It's a video player, and there seems to be a videotape inside.
It looks like it. The tape must have stopped on its own when it reached the end.
This tape. Could it not be the missing surveillance tape?
I suppose, but...
Detective Bad, would it be alright with you if I verified the contents of this video? Sure. Knock yourself out.
Alright then, let's rewind this and see what we have.
Oh, sorry, I keep getting the hiccups.
If I remember correctly, the footage of Rel killing the embassy staff member should be about the 30-minute mark from the start of the tape. Understood. This should be about right. Now then, let's see.
This is...
Why are you letting her see this? She's 13! So real about comfort yaoi in these trying times. Song Gi-hoon. Songwoo and Gi-hoon from Squid Games has been mine. I didn't ship it at first, but it's really grown on me. Yeah, I didn't watch season 2 because too many predatory men involved. Too many bad men. I don't want to support something like that. You know? Yeah, obviously mine was Kapalo up until like November. Dude, that for real, that November 20th hit, the day, the holiday, and then my brain has been leaking back into Persona 5 since. Yay. Anyway.
This is the footage of Mr. Rao shooting the embassy staff member.
I knew it. The missing piece of evidence, the surveillance video, was here all along.
The gunshot is especially memorable.
This sound. What's the meaning of this? It appears that Detective Bad has figured out the true source of the gunshot he heard. With this, I think we can figure out the trick behind this double murder.
Do you mean you figured it all out then?
Yes. All I have to do now is show what the gunshot detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they heard it from.
Fine. In that case, show me what you deduced.
Now to show what the gunshot detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they heard it from. I want to blah 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 blah.
Here is where... Wait. Maybe I don't understand what it's asking. Okay, hold on. I don't understand what it's asking. Yeah, definitely some awful things have come out about the actors. Yeah, I'm not impressed. Also, I didn't think that it really needed a season 2.
So someone left this video on play the whole time, huh?
I suppose so. Other than the killing, there's hardly a sound on the rest of the tape.
Then why did the television make that loud noise when Scruffy got near it?
That's probably because the tape had run out and stopped its playback.
It's not just bad luck that detective has the worst... No. ちょっとちゃんと読んで。 That's just bad luck. That detective has the worst timing in the world, too.
Someone purposefully left this video on play. The question is why?
To create an alibi, probably. That's usually why that kind of thing would happen. Alright. I don't understand what it's asking me to deduce against. Okay, hold on. Let me look at... I'm confused as what it's asking. I guess I could do... Because, like, what I want to deduce against it isn't the stuff in here. The evidence contradicts itself. But I guess this is the evidence? Okay, let's just try. Okay, banger. Never mind. Fuck. もうわかんないや. Ouch. Okay. My bad. Listen. Calm down and think it through once more. Okay, can I look to see what he's asking again? To show what the gunshot detectives bat heard through where they heard it from. Oh! I see! Naruhodo ne? Okay. Okay. For real this time. I love that he said Eureka and he was wrong.
If the door and the windows to the crime scene, namely this room that we're in, were closed, the killer could have used the gun and no one would have been the wiser.
That's true. This courthouse does seem to be well designed for such a thing, as it were.
However, what happened in reality was Detective Gumshoe, Detective Bad, and Ms. Yu. All three of them heard the gunshot.
But the windows in lobby number 1, number 2, and the hallway were open. So naturally, the people in these locations could hear it.
Ah, but then why would the criminal open the window in the first place?
To allow the gunshot to be heard, I suppose.
Correct. That's the only logical conclusion we can draw from this.
But why was that necessary in the first place? I want a real answer, Miles. I demand satisfaction.
Very well. I believe that the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of a certain fact. What was it that the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of?
When it took place? Okay, yeah.
The killer wanted to fabricate the time of death to their precise wishes. And they used the gunshot in that surveillance video to do so.
I don't know the details. You'd have to look it up yourself if you really want to know. But just as Catherine said, some predatory stuff has been brought up about some of the actors. Yeah, I mean, it's unsurprising because a lot of men... I mean, that's why the 4B movement exists. But there's a lot of men in South Korea who are with a lot of power in, like, the industry, the entertainment industry, that are terrible people.
So that's why the tape was left running.
I mean, that's true probably anywhere, but, like, it's been coming out a lot from South Korean news lately. It's been, like, coming to light a lot more.
You mean the gunshot I heard was from this video? Yes, which means that the murders really occurred and at earlier time than we thought. It must have been during the recess, but before Detective Gumshoe was on guard duty. Someone who has no alibi for that time period and planned this crime out in advance. That person is the real killer.
Heal me.
Yes. Mr. Edgeworth! Yes, what is it?
Ms. Yu is asking for you. She's in the courtroom. She says that she's identified the murderer, but that she wants to clarify something.
It looks like Miss Yu is still investigating something.
Understood. Please tell her that I will be right over. I'll come along. I want to hear what she has to say. it would appear that this time has come to uncover the truth.
But we'll do it next week. Next week on Friday. Okay. Yay. Oh boy. Exciting. Oh, whoa. How many slots? 20? I don't need that many. That's crazy.
Attorney Woo was good. At least the bit of it that I saw. I didn't watch the whole thing. If you want to watch an old one that's good, Sung Kyun Kwon Scandal is like Mulan and Oran Host Club if it were a K-drama. Yeah, anyway. Tomorrow, Minecraft. Ignore the thumbnail that it's still I have the Somnium Files. It's just that I don't have a thumbnail for, Minecraft made. Okay, actually that is like a genuine complaint. So I want to ask, does anyone know of an ergonomic pin grip that is sold in Canada that does not cost a fucking arm and a leg? Because my friend tried to make me off of the pattern for the grip that normally works. But the thing is, she made it out of a hard plastic. And because the plastic has no stretch to it, the dimensions are not correct. And neither of us know how to edit the file to make the dimensions correct. So, I have to figure out, I'm going to have to make a pin grip, an ergonomic pin grip, because I can't, for a long period of time, write or draw at all. I get to about like 15, 20 minutes of holding a pen, with the exception of a pen that I have that is like a thicker pen, which I can go a little longer for. But most pens that I have, they are pencils. They are, it takes about 20 minutes for my hand to start really getting fucked. So I would love to be able to draw for like, I don't know, at least 30 minutes straight and then take a little break. So if anyone who watches this knows of something, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to fucking, I can fucking, I'm gonna make it, I guess. I'm gonna have to make it out of like felt or something. I don't know off the top of my head, but if you send me the one that you want, I can look for ones like it. Yeah, I don't want to have to go through the whole thing of someone sending it to me from the US, because like it's much cheaper in the US. If I want to buy the one that I want in Canada, it's $70 and some odd change. Like, so when I went to the drugstore today, I shouldn't even say it's a drugstore. If you've ever been to a London Drugs, it's quite large, right? They have a lot. It's basically like, if you've, I don't know, it's like a nice Walgreens or a nice CVS. It's huge, the one that we have. It has a post office in it, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I'll look in the stationery section. Surely they have at least one little gummy, that like foam thing for stationery. No, nothing. Not a single one. So fucking disappointing. So, yeah. It's like chonky. Probably going to try and find a way to pass this so I can sleep without allergies bugging me tonight. Bye, Ivy. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna get off now. I just wanted to bring that up. If anybody had any ideas of something in Canada, if you know of like an art store, So, yeah, on that note, I'll see you tomorrow, maybe. You know the drill. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. Be good to yourself. Be kind. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. Please wear a mask. It'll help your allergies. Thanks for hanging out. And I will see you when I see you. Which is hopefully tomorrow. Okay, bye!